Well, hello, everybody. Pastor Andy here. Welcome to Making It Simple. It's a beautiful Monday. I hope that you had a great weekend. We were extremely blessed this weekend. Got a chance to really do some unique things. Uh, you know, Public events are they're mixed, kind of a mixed bag. Sometimes you really never know what's going to happen. We had a chance as a church family to do something really unique this past weekend and participate in a community event in which we were blessed with the opportunity to exercise our faith. In other words, we didn't just talk about it, we actually did something about it. We got out of the boat and we went and met people and we put things in their hands, bags and cups and cards and whatever the case, sharing Jesus with as many people as we possibly could. And we're going to get a chance to do it again later on this summer. What a joy. And then yesterday, there was fruit from that labor as we had visitors here in our services yesterday due to that. And so we're praying for a mighty harvest. Today, I want to wrap up, come and get out of the boat. We've been talking about exercising our faith. We've been talking about, indeed, getting out of the boat because Jesus gave Peter one word. He said, "Come." That's an action word. What I want us to focus on today in just a few minutes as we wrap this up, I want to read the rest of this passage to you. And I want us to look at how this is relatable to life and then present us with a challenge. Okay, so we see in Matthew chapter 14, Peter has now gotten out of the boat. It says in verse 29, and Jesus said, "Come." And Peter came down out of the ship and he walked on the water to go to Jesus. He did the impossible by putting his faith into action. In other words, he believed, he saw, okay, this is possible. If I take the focus off of me, if I take the focus off of my surroundings, if I take the focus off the world constantly telling me what I can't do, and I start trusting in what God can do. Now, let me just share with you right there, ever so briefly, as we think about how that relates to everyday life. We're constantly being barraged. We're constantly being challenged by the world telling us no. And by that, I mean, you can't do this. You're not good enough to do that. You're not whatever. We have all these different things that the world has said. We let that discourage us. We let that keep us in the boat because we've determined and we've decided that by the proclamation of someone other than God, that we have to sit still. But that's not what Jesus said. And again, we're not talking about doing the foolish or the frivolous. We're talking about doing that which is faith-filled, that which changes our life, that which shows that we trust God, making the impossible possible. So we're seeing here, Peter came out of the boat and he walked on the water. Again, the impossible becoming the possible. And then we see in verse 30, but. The word but changes the tone of every conversation to the good or to the bad, to the negative, to the positive, every single time. In this case, to the negative. But he saw the wind was boisterous and he was afraid. In other words, he began to take his focus off of what was ahead of him, the promise of God, the safety of God. And he said, "Oh my word, I'm standing on the water. This is not possible." We do that in life all the time. "Oh my word, so and so said I couldn't be at this level in my career. So and so told me I was no good. So and so told me," and we begin to believe that, and we begin to doubt ourselves, and then we don't even think God is possible because, well, the bank turned me down, so I can never own my own home, or this and that. Friends, what is God not capable of doing? We see in this illustration, Peter did the impossible. He walked on water. That is humanly, physically impossible. But Jesus said he could do it, and he did. But once he took his eyes off of Jesus and he began to look, it tells us that his surroundings Oh man, the wind is blowing, and he began. I'm afraid, and it says he began to sink. This is what happens when we take our eyes off of Jesus. We begin to sink. We begin to withdraw. We begin to look at things through a skewed point of view, saying, I give up. I'm not capable. I'm not worthy. I'm no good. I've made too many mistakes. I'm speaking to someone today, and I'm telling you right now, it's time to get out of the boat. It's time to trust God. It is time to believe what He says, and that is, cast your cares upon me. Place it upon me, for I care for you. Come unto me if you're tired, if you're weary, if you're burdened, and I will give you rest. All these invitations that we've talked about, friends, this one really puts it all into perspective, because this says, just like we started off with Noah, when God told Noah, come into the boat, that was a challenge of your faith. Do you really believe what I told? Do you really believe that we're going to be okay for the next 40 days and 40 nights? Okay, come on, let's go for a boat ride. Jesus here, skipping the boat, he said, come walk with me. Come, let's take a little stroll. Yeah, on the surface of this water, we're going to do that. Peter started letting life creep back in, letting the world keep back in, letting his doubts and worries take back over, and he began to sink. And once he did that, he cried 3 words, Lord, save me. Lord, help me. 3 words. That's what he told us. He said, Lord, save me. And it says immediately Jesus reached down and pulled him back up. And then he said unto Peter, why did you doubt? Where is your faith? You've seen everything that I've done. You've witnessed everything that I've done for you. We're all in that category today, friends, me included. God has done so much for us. God has been so good to us. We let the world put a dark cloud over that by telling us no. We let others demean our character. We let others tell others things about us that aren't true. And we let it bother us and burden us to the point that we stop trying. And rather than getting out of the boat, we sit down and we don't move anymore. What does that do to our faith? It weakens it. It causes everything now that comes by to have a question mark behind it. Everything that comes by to be a burden or a worry or a doubt or a concern or how is this ever going to work? You remember those times when God showed up when you didn't think anything was possible? Think about those times today. Jesus is standing in front of Peter, and Peter says, I want to be where you are. And he said, come. That's what he's telling you today. That's what he's telling me. Let me tell you, less than an hour ago, before I filmed this video, me and Jesus had one of those moments. And he made it clear. I'm guiding the steps, not someone else. I'm guiding the steps, not you. So move. Get out of the way. Get out of the boat and come toward me. But keep your eyes on me. Don't look at your surroundings. Don't worry about how hard the wind is blowing or how deep the water is. I've got you. Here's my question to you, friends. Do you trust that? I know life is very difficult right now for a lot of people, and I know that it's easy to doubt. It's easy to worry. It's easy to have fear. Those are all real emotions, and we all wrestle with them. Let me share something with you today. This very one that gave Peter the ability to walk on water can do the same thing for you. So come, let's get out of the boat and let's go take an amazing stroll. Let's make the impossible possible. Let's put our faith in action, because the faith that we have in the one who is worthy of having faith in, he doesn't change. And if he could do it before, as the old song says, he'll do it again. God bless you. I hope you have a great rest of the day. Lord willing, I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new Making It Simple. Where we're going to go, I'm not sure yet, but it'll be something hopefully that'll be worthy of your time and something that'll teach you a little bit more about growing in our relationship with Christ. God bless you so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow.